I wrote 10 pages, and the first 10 pages got me the book deal. There is a suit in the back of my closet. Over the years, dust has gathered on its shoulders. I own better suits, but I hold onto this one because, for me at least, it is special. The suit attracts and repels me. It came to me under the saddest of circumstances, and I've dared to wear it in public only once. I wore it to test myself, to see if it would fit, not only in its cut and dimensions, but to prove to myself I could bear the mantle and wear it without feeling like an imposter, a boy posing as a man. Most of the time, I try to ignore it. And so years can go by without my touching it. But even so, I always know it is there. Once in a while, I feel compelled to run my hand along its lapels, and I think of the man who once wore it. I see the line of his jaw and his broad torso and his incipient roundness, and I see the pores of his fleshy, bulbous nose, and I remember the feel of his thick skin and the dryness of his hands, and I wonder if I look like him. This is my father's suit. Even without putting the jacket on, I can tell you it won't fit me, although, I've grown heavier and thicker over the years. But the chest is too full, and the shoulders are too wide. My father was always the bigger man, But the exaggerated proportions are as much a byproduct of dated taste as of the measuring tape. The button placement is low and swaying, evidence of Giorgio Armani's early louche influence on menswear. It has been decades since it was considered stylish to button jackets below the natural belt line. Think of the days of Miami Vice. Contemporary fashion dictates that the crucial fastening point must be higher to the sternum, far above the belly button. The higher the button stance creates the illusion of longer legs. In nearly every detail, the broad shoulders, the low notch on the wide lapel, the two heavy brass buttons, the low testicular altitude of the buttons. The suit is old, outmoded. Why does it matter? If it doesn't fit, why not throw the suit out and buy a new one? Standing between the hamper and the foot of the bed, with his jacket in my hands, I sink my face into the wool and breathe in his scent for the first time in years. I'm 7 years old, enthralled by my father's suits. And I visit them when he's at work. In my parents' bedroom, I grab the slatted folding closet doors and fling them open. The suits are hanging in a perfect row, like Spartan hoplites. Flannels, pinstripes, gray double-breasteds, silk and mohair sports jackets with white buttons. Three-piece affairs thumping with the music of ABBA and Boney M. They are made to measure and custom. To me, these suits mean going out into the world and having adventures. They mean being a man, being formidable. They mean cigarettes and Johnny Walker Red, and knowing every maitre d' in town, and every floor manager, in every high-end restaurant and lounge in downtown Montreal. The house is quiet. With my arms spread wide, I turn my cheek and lean into his jackets, and it feels like I'm falling into a dense, soft thicket. The suits push back in perfect unison. For a moment, I'm suspended in the air, and then I slipped to the closet floor onto his dirty dress shirts, dragging a couple of the coats down with me. At the bottom, there is the smell of wool and of him, and the scents of cigarettes, sweat, and a faint hint of vanilla. Now, here I am, 3 decades later, in my bedroom, still hanging on. I know I can't change my father or the things he did. But maybe with a seam ripper and a pair of scissors, I can alter this, his last suit. It may prove a disaster. I may screw up this part of him, and he will disappear forever. Maybe that's exactly what I want. But maybe if I'm patient and unravel the threads with care, the suit will give up its story to me, my father's suit. There were times in my life I believed he was the greatest dad in the world. And other times I wish the scrape of the key against the lock late at night was only a bad dream. But it wasn't a dream. It was my father. It is 1978. I am 8 years old. We are living in St. Lambert, Quebec. The basement TV is on. A football game, most likely the Alouettes. Outside it is warm, but down here it's cool. My father is taking a nap on the couch. And I work some space for myself on the couch, and I curl up to him, listening to him inhale and exhale under the murmur of the play-by-play. He draws breath in deeply, but the pattern is ragged. He smokes 2 packs of Belmont Milds a day, and I'm afraid he won't wake up. That he will exhale one final time, and nothing will follow. So I breathe for him. He breathes, and it breaks, and I hold mine for what feels like 10 seconds and 1,000 years. And suddenly he draws in. And I try to synchronize our rhythms. If he breathes, I breathe. He breathes, I breathe. In the tight knot of our limbs, his arm under my head, the right pulling me in, one of my cold feet shoved between his legs for warmth. He embraces me even tighter until I fall asleep. Against this, how can a judgment be rendered? What measure can be taken? So I got a book deal. And so I went on this, I don't know, they have some sort of